I watched her from across the dance floor, the chandelier scattering light across her hair, and felt a strange numbness curl through my chest. She was laughing, really laughing. For the first time in months, her hand tucked in his, spinning and twirling as if she were weightless. I stayed seated, glass of scotch sweating in my palm, pretending the knot tightening in my stomach wasn't slowly strangling me. It was our friend's wedding, the kind where everyone knew everyone and nothing ever stayed secret for long. I should have felt joy, but instead, I felt an unfamiliar ache. I knew him, her best friend, better than anyone. They'd met in college, bonded over terrible movies and midnight coffee runs. And in the beginning, I'd welcomed him with open arms, grateful she had someone who understood her. Now, every joke, every glance they exchanged seemed like a blade sliding between my ribs. I told myself I was being irrational. She loved me. I knew that. She had to love me. And yet, watching them, I realized I didn't know her at all. "Are you okay?" whispered a colleague, leaning over the table. I nodded quickly, more out of habit than truth. I didn't want anyone to see me unravel. Minutes stretched into hours. Each song ended, and a new one began, and she never left the side. My mind wandered, picking at small details I'd brushed off before. The way she lingered a beat too long when they hugged, the little inside jokes she never shared with me, the sudden disappearance of late-night texts that once came from me alone. I tried to speak to her later, on the terrace, where the faint hum of the city mingled with the laughter inside. "You've been dancing a lot tonight," I said, forcing a casual tone. She smiled brightly, and it was infuriating. "It's a wedding. I thought I'd have fun." Her hand brushed mine briefly, and I felt nothing, only an echo of cold realization. I kept my eyes on her as she twirled back into the crowd, and the weight of suspicion settled heavier than the tailored suit against my skin. I wanted to trust her. I really did. But something in her movement, her eyes that sparkled for him, and only him, whispered truths I wasn't ready to hear. The next days blurred into a haze. At home, I found my thoughts circling endlessly. The way she laughed at his jokes in ways she never did mine, the way she lingered on her phone when I came near, the faint scent of cologne that wasn't mine on her scarf. I hated myself for noticing, for caring, but I couldn't stop. The house felt colder, too quiet, each room echoing the absence of honesty. One evening, while she was in the shower, I found a small, folded note tucked between the pages of a book she'd been reading. My hand shook as I unfolded it. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Just us. M." The handwriting wasn't hers. It couldn't be. My stomach lurched, but a part of me still whispered that I was imagining things. Maybe it was a joke, something innocent. Maybe I was losing my mind. I confronted her that night. The air between us was thick, damp with fear and denial. "Is there something you need to tell me?" I asked, my voice low but breaking under the weight of too many sleepless nights. She froze, towel clutched to her chest. Her eyes darted to mine, a flicker of something unnameable passing through them. "What are you talking about?" she said softly, almost too softly. I dropped the note on the counter. "This. Who's M?" Her shoulders sagged, and the brief flash of guilt was enough to confirm what my heart already knew. She looked away, swallowed, and said, "It's complicated." I felt my chest tighten, my breath catching. Complicated? We've been married for 8 years. Everything was supposed to be simple. I didn't plan for it to happen," she whispered, eyes brimming. "I didn't know how to stop it. I didn't want to hurt you. Then why did you?" I asked, the words sharp, each syllable cutting deeper than I thought possible. She didn't answer. She couldn't. I could see the truth in her hands trembling, the way her entire body leaned away from the honesty she couldn't give me. The betrayal settled over me like a storm. I couldn't cry. I couldn't speak. I only stood there, watching the woman I loved, the woman I thought I knew, crumble under the weight of her own choices. Weeks passed, and we existed in the same house, but not in the same world. Every glance, every touch, was colored by suspicion and heartbreak. I replayed the wedding in my head countless times, analyzing every laugh, every brush of her hand against his. The scenes weren't new. They were always there. But only now did the truth cut through my denial. Eventually, I stopped pretending. I couldn't stay in the half-life of love that had become a lie. One rainy evening, I packed a small bag, placed it on the hall table, and left a note. I loved you. I still do. But I cannot stay where I am not enough. Goodbye. I walked out without looking back, rain soaking through my coat, tears mingling with the cold drizzle. I felt hollow, shattered, yet strangely free. The betrayal had broken something inside me, but it had also stripped away the pretense, leaving me raw, painfully aware, and alive in ways I hadn't been for years. Months later, I heard she had moved in with him. The news stung, not because of jealousy, but because of how easily the illusion of us had vanished. I had given her everything, love, trust, years, and she gave it away without a second thought. Yet, in the quiet moments, I realized something bitterly comforting. I had survived. I had felt the worst of heartbreak, looked it straight in the eye, and still kept moving. Betrayal had tried to define me, but it hadn't. I was still me, stronger, sharper, awake in a way that love alone had never demanded. I will never dance with her again, nor laugh at the jokes that once warmed my soul. But I have found a rhythm of my own, a life unchained from the shadows of betrayal. And though my heart carries the scars, it carries also a quiet, unshakable truth. I am worthy, and I will never allow someone else's choices to make me forget it. The wedding, her laughter, the warmth of her hand in his. It is all behind me now, and I finally breathe.